What up, everybody? This is Zay with Grindhouse Studios. Don't mind this excessive energy. Right now, we have the incredible Harvey Cummings, who's probably done more than you've done in your whole lifetime. So, give me a little brief resume of your favorite projects.
My favorite projects. Let's see, Goldmouth was recent. With
Crazy.
I did the keys on Eye to Eye and on the interludes in 100. Worked with a lot of Dreamville artists. Greg Cox. I was on this track with P.D. Pablo recently.
Hey,
that was pretty litty.
North Carolina.
I know, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just like my own projects, and
I remember you was telling me you did some work on the Boondocks.
yeah, that was my first placement. Like
that was your first placement?
Yeah. I was working with Ninth Wonder. Shout out to Ninth. Shout out to Beat Nom. And Aaron Magruder had Ninth Wonder co-produce like the music for the Boondocks, and then what Ninth wanted to do was take his beats but like liven it up. So like he hired us. He called it the Wonder Band.
The Wonder Band.
Yeah, and
that's
like,
crazy.
And like we would just like dress all the beats up. So I was on keys for that project. So it's a lot of the interludes on the Boondocks when Pops is like when like the girls are knocking at the door but they don't look like what they look like. like that's like me right there
playing
like
in the camera.
Yeah, man.
You had the little sneaky face in the background, like
man.
they about to.
I didn't know it end up like that, but that was like one of my first things was the Boondocks. So yeah.
Okay,
that
so
got me on my
low-key legend. I
chilling,
feel that.
Man. We North Carolina.
I mean, you chilling, but nobody else is.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So okay, so you told me you had an album coming up. What's the name of that?
I'm thinking about calling it either Harv. I'm thinking about calling it the Carolina Blues.
That's
I'm thinking about different things.
smooth.
I'm just trying to think of the concept.
Okay, still pending, everybody.
Still
Hard
pending.
work, no name, but
it's loading. I did the first initial cuts from the album actually at Grindhouse.
oh, word! Shout out Grindhouse.
So shout out Jason Jett. We go back Northwest School of the Arts, like men's choir, men's chamber ensemble. Man.
Talk about like real playground style
Jay,
stuff. Like
he was the first cat in the school. Think of it like as Northwest. It's crazy, but like he was the first cat to really be producing.
yeah,
You feel me? So his dad was a producer, and like everybody had like jobs and stuff, and like Jason's job was his pops had a key. He would work his pops kiosk at Concord at Carolina Place Mall.
Word.
His pops had the studio and stuff, man. So it's like
what was
it's
at the
always,
kiosk?
His he was selling stuff for his pop studio, like using
Oh,
studio
word.
services. Like I can make this and that, man. So Jason's always been just
grinding
CD
from the
involved.
beginning.
Yeah, so I always got to support. I use different studios for the project, but I definitely want to get Grindhouse in there, and Jason though, man. And y'all family, we go.
I mean,
back.
yeah, all
So,
family. Like, I mean, shoot, Jason's been part of the music community longer than I have. So as soon as I got here, there he was. So, I mean, shout out to the low key legend amongst the scene.
Yeah, man.
So, what exactly are you excited? What are you giving off on this next album that you're getting ready to drop?
I just try to picture everything live first, and then I make it because I want it to be the best. Because that's really like when we we listen to albums, listen to people's albums, listen to these projects, EPs or whatever. But it's like the final product is the live version. You feel me? Like it's the people who want to come here to hear those songs live, and I always just think live. But it's just I'm a jazz head first, so it's like it's got those jazz undertones. I got the boom bap. We got some sequence.
Now, do you feel like now when you go into this, because you already said you already think about the final product, and musician to musician, the final product is the performance. Like, the song is the sellable part, but your presence is really the last part.
Yeah.
So when you're coming from that place of like, okay, I'm thinking about giving it to the people first, how does that shape how you sculpt the actual piece?
It just goes with the emotion of the music. You want the music to feel good.
Yeah, always.
People listen to what feel good, man.
All right.
And you just make feel good music.
I mean, you can't get no simpler than that.
For real. And then everything else is extra, Like I said, my last project, I wanted to touch base on HBCUs. Like I called it Chicken Day.
Hey.
It was a night to Chicken Wednesday. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
That was the. And I wanted to put awareness to HBCUs because I met other people from different schools. Hey, I went to Tuskegee. Our Chicken Day was on Thursday. I was at Morehouse. Our Chicken Day was on Friday. A&T's was on Friday. Whatever. So it's just it gave us that commonality, and I used that as a base to. That was my base going up, like in North Carolina. I went to Central, and I was in that college area, from A&T to State to ECU. Like we all knew each other, man. And just. From there, that's where a lot of the gigs started, just because of the people I knew. And Well, I know Harvey can do this, or I know a guy, and that's how it started.
That's smooth. So, like, what kind of influence is that? Asking for too much sauce? You listening to anybody special lately? That's kind of.
I always gotta listen. I mean, I want to be shut in and create my own, but I always gotta hear what's the sound, what's going, But you don't want to be over intentional or do stuff just to do it.
Over intentional.
Let me put an Afrobeat song just because it's hot. Nah, if I'm gonna do an Afrobeat song, let me let it be the best Afrobeat song I can make.
Lay into it the full way.
Don't just do it just to do it. So
that over intentionality is a big part.
You want to be intentional with your stuff, but you don't want to be over intentional, man. You want to over miss it, man. So
okay, any important type of things that have been on your mind, world interests or stuff that's kind of infecting the way that you've been thinking lately?
I've been using Chat GPT and AI to ask for prompts on different things. Hey, give me a album rollout as a chart, as a flow chart, and it'll just all right, make a song, market this, set this, have a listening party, have a pre-release, have a single, something. It's just
that
it's
makes
like
sense.
new Google. It's I'm using different tools to help, but my biggest thing is I gotta keep creating. Every day I can't get stagnant. It's every day I gotta make something. That's my goal, is to make something every day.
So what keeps you fresh in that? Because I know making something every day, if you don't have new influences.
Yeah, man. You just listen. Shout out to Tidal. Tidal has this function on Tidal. It's called my daily discovery. And I've had Tidal for a minute. I use all of them for different reasons, but Tidal knows my algorithm, and it knows the new music I might like. You know what I'm saying? Or stuff that I don't like. And what it's doing now is it's taking these old songs that I've known before, but they're playing the original sample. The joint. I'm oh shoot.
So that's what that was.
I'm okay, this is this other group.
So this is what this was originally. That's smooth.
But I listen to different things, man. It ain't gotta be jazz. It ain't gotta be hip hop.
No, it's all music.
It's
at
all
the end of the
music.
day.
It could be Ski, Sexy Red, all that.
Ski.
Yeah. Nah, for real. We gotta have that.
All right, I'm loving all of that. So then, all right, before we go ahead and get you closed out, is there a final message you want to give to the people? Some lasting words?
Just we at the Confluence Conference.
Confluence.
I'm doing a show at Middle C tonight, actually. I'm doing a late set at Middle C. And you'll expect I'll be putting on different hats. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start off solo piano, man. Take it back to my roots. You know what I'm saying? Because I was
bringing it in real soulful.
Yeah, and then I'll bring in the horn and my new tracks and do a cover or two.
This is a solo show that you're doing?
It's
all
solo
you?
show, yeah.
Oh, the multi-hyphenate out here taking control.
They
okay.
gonna learn today. So.
They gonna learn today.
So it's gonna be fun, man. But just my message is just keep creating, but just be innovative. Don't fall into the trap. Find ways to make you different, but push things forward.
Absolutely.
While keeping things the same, while pushing it forward. If that makes sense.
Different beasts in the same animal. That's what Kobe said.
Yeah, Kanye joint. Yeah, different beasts, same animal, man. You gotta tap in. Just tap in. Don't throw beats away. If you're just making something, you're nah, save it. Save it. And come back to it 2 weeks later with different ears. He'll be oh shoot.
You might come back a few years later and then come back and refreshing that. You never know what's gonna happen.
I mean, this is Grindhouse, this is production, so it's I gotta put on my production hat at different times. Like I'm making the beats, and then I can automatically switch to like mixing hat, which is I gotta use different ears to like hear
frequencies,
all that. It's all sonics and frequencies at that point. Let me use my compressions and da 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 da.
Shape the sound.
Let me shape, and then I gotta get like in recording mode and getting that. You know, that's a whole nother thing. You know, people get the demoitis. You know, we've heard that term before. It's called demoitis. It's when you get in the booth and you're just trying to go so hard and you're trying to be perfect. And just go with what feel good and
let it ride.
So I'm gonna give y'all like a real gem. I learned this from Kino, by the way, man. But what he would do was, you know how like the engineer like gets the singer or somebody into the booth, and they'd be like test the mic, test. I'll just be like, all right, I'm just gonna run it just to see how it sounds, but just go da 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 da.
Just record it.
And I just record it. They don't know that, but it's like they might have gave that best tape
on the first try.
On the first try, because they're not thinking.
And they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna run it.
Now let's run it.
Too much thinking.
All right, got it. No, just go for it, man. And I'm a horn player, so it's just like I do that too. But you know, we in the age of punching in, and hey, man.
And I'm a firm believer. Now, punching in, I will never fight punching in.
How you make the song is how you make the song.
How you make the song is how you make the song. Personal preferences, I like to ride that whole thing through for a unison. But however you need to make the track. Make the track.
Now I've punched in on the jazz tip when I'm doing like saxophone. Like I'll punch in different phrases. I might punch in like 4 bars. All right, give me one. Oh, give me one more. All right, 1, 2, 3. And I might try different ones. You know what I'm saying? But I'm punching. You know, but it's just
you just do it work.
Well, those are called like Franken solo, Franken recordings. When like, you can
them Franken mixes.
No, I'm saying you already know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
It's like a rapper reading the words. It's like you already know your words, but it's for musicians. It's like I already know what I'm about to play.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now we're actually running short on time. Cool. I do appreciate you coming in here and taking the time for me. Always, every time.
Thank you.
So to the man that wears many hats, I say hats off to you. And we're going to go ahead and see you next time. This has been Zay with Grindhouse Studios.
Harvey Cummings, man.
Tell them where to find you before we get out of here.
On the IG, socials, Harvey Cummings, harveycummings.com, info@harveycummings.com, all that. So just hit me, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So now.
Charlotte, 704. Man.
Charlotte, thank you.
You.